This is how to film cinematic videos like these in No Man's Sky. First, open up No Man's Sky. From here there are two main options. You can either join a multiplayer game with a friend or an alternate account, or you can start up your single player game and have someone you know join it. Unfortunately, these are the only two options right now since Hello Games removed the join random game button. If you don't know anyone with the game, I'm sure there are lots of people on r/No Man's Sky who would be happy to let you join their world. It also doesn't matter whether you're on creative or survival. Next, find something you want to film and enter camera mode by pressing X, E, F. Notice how the world doesn't freeze like it does in a single player game. I'll set up my camera here. Keep in mind, however, that it doesn't matter if you leave the world that the other player is on, but if you leave the same system, you won't be able to film videos without the world freezing anymore. Next, you can change settings in camera mode by pressing space. I usually turn my FOV down to get a smaller focal length, my vignette down as low as it can go, as well as turning fog density up to around 400 or 500% depending on the mood of the film. Once all the settings look good to you, you can exit the settings by pressing space one more time. Now, you'll find all the controls for how to move the camera listed at the bottom. And then there's a button to move the sun around. This is very useful and you'll use it a lot to control lighting and the mood of your shots. This is good to experiment with, and on different planets the sun position will vary a lot, so I usually mess around with it a bit before filming. This next part is optional, but using any type of controller is the best way to get the most control out of your shots. This allows you to control the speed of the camera and create smooth turning shots. Once you're ready to film, you can hide the menu at the bottom by pressing Shift. Sometimes this doesn't get rid of the world code at the bottom left, but if you press Shift a few more times, it should get rid of it. Also note that if you press Shift while you still have the camera mode settings open, it won't let you move the camera around, and you'll have to press Shift, space, and then Shift one more time to be able to move around. Now, you're ready to start filming using your controller or keyboard to move your camera. You can record your footage using free software like OBS, or if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, then NVIDIA Shadowplay is what I use and it works great. I always film using Instant Replay, which will let you record the last however many minutes on your screen. This is useful because you can't always control what's going to happen in No Man's Sky, and if ships come flying out of nowhere, for example, you can still record by saving the last 5 minutes of your screen. Before we get into editing, here are a few things that I've learned while filming that may be helpful. Number 1. When filming in space, make sure your ship is completely stopped, otherwise it might start to float into your shot. Number 2. When landing on a ringed planet, aiming for the top 3/4 of it gives you the best view of the rings without having to move your camera to an extreme upwards angle. Number 3. Look for terrain that goes down from your subject. Otherwise, if you try to back up your camera, you'll end up running into bumps in the ground. Number 4. Moons are a great place to get views of not only giant planets in the background, but also with low atmosphere moons, you get great views of the stars. And lastly, number 5. If you need your character to look a certain direction for a scene, you can reorient where they are looking by leaving camera mode, then looking in the direction you want them to look, and then pressing F to activate your scanner. This shifts your character to look any direction your camera is pointing. Once I finish a film session, I lightly color grade my footage using DaVinci Resolve, and then I create a project folder, a subfolder titled Footage, and then another subfolder inside of that one titled with Part 1, or whichever film session number you just finished. This keeps everything organized and clean. Next, I use Premiere Pro to edit everything together with music, and that's it. I also suggest using DaVinci Resolve to edit if you don't want to pay for a Creative Cloud subscription. I like to export my videos a lot as I'm working on them so I can see what the final product would look like. And I often upload test videos to YouTube as unlisted videos to test if the music I'm using makes my video blocked in any regions, or just to watch while I'm away from my computer to get a different perspective. After that, all you have to do is upload it to YouTube and you're good to go. Now please send me any videos you make as I would love to see them. And as a last side note, in the extremely rare case that Hello Games is watching, I would love the opportunity to talk to you guys and work out ways to make this process easier for filmmakers. I'm available through Twitter, Reddit, email, and YouTube, and I'll put links to all of these in the description. Thank you for watching.